It is currently around 7:15 a.m. I woke up this morning at around 5 a.m., rolled out of bed around 5:40, and then quickly hurried outside in hopes of catching the sunrise. I was exhausted. I did not want to do this at all. But the neighbor next door has finally decided to build a home on his property. Yesterday, they tore down a bunch of trees and bushes, and it very much upset me because I had been planning on catching the sunrise through those trees. And I had heard from them and they were planning on taking down more, so I was like, doesn't matter how tired I am. It doesn't matter if this isn't a good time. I need to try to get what little of that skyline sunrise that I can. What I did not expect was to feel so invigorated. I should have known. I used to have to do this for school. I went to a school that was like an hour's drive away from me every morning. And I used to have to wake up around 4:30, and then driving to school, me and the people who I'd carpool with would drive with the sunrise, and it was beautiful, and I just feel alive, even though I only got 3 hours of sleep. But today, I thought I'd make a video on my goals. I wasn't planning on making this video because, well, spoiler, I completed none of my second trimester goals. It was just a lot. I mean, I did get married, which was something I didn't say was a goal because I didn't know if it was going to fall through with lockdown, and I didn't really want that on the internet. I think that was one of the only good things that happened in the second trimester. It was a hard time. I mean, and in the beginning of it, I feel like we kind of hit this lull with lockdown where we all just weren't doing well mentally. Our mental health was declining. Well, at least I'm speaking for myself and what I've seen through either the internet or through conversing with friends. And then end of May/June happened. With so much tragedy and horrificness. And yet, how do I put this? There's also a lot of beauty in the unity that's come out of it. I mean, you know, all of us going to the protests and joining in together with Black Lives Movement. I wish the uprising would have happened naturally and not with the loss of, you know, George Floyd and all the others before him. I wish we were just better people. Hopefully you can hear me over the construction that has just started, because obviously it would start now. So why am I making this video? This past week I did my INTJ experiment. It should be the last video that you saw. And it was incredible for my creativity. I got so much done, but what I didn't expect was what was to come after. I kind of went through this weird roller coaster where on the day after I had all of these mini epiphanies about myself, and it was as though the things my mind and soul have been craving, I figured out what those were, or I rediscovered what they were. And then the 2 following days were just a complete nightmare. Everything went wrong. I went through this really weird mental mindset, but then at the end of the 3rd following day, I went, well, in the middle, I went for this hike, and it's my favorite hike, but it's been closed down for the majority of lockdown, I think since midway through April, and it's opened back up now, and I got to go on that hike, and oh my gosh, it was as though all the anxiety had been cleansed from my system, and I knew the answer. And that was great. I think when I had rediscovered myself, I hadn't let go of a lot of things, and that's what those past 3 days were. And now I just woke up this morning and I was like, I know what my goal is for the rest of the year. I kind of have only 3 goals. Well, really only 1 goal, but there are 2 sub-goals. One, the main huge goal is I want to be me again. I want to come back to me. And this has been a long journey. There is a bigger conversation that needs to be said about chronic illness, but I'm getting to a point in my chronic illness where I can live a more typical life again. And because of those 3 years of not being able to live a typical life, I was still living a life. I did a lot of soul searching, and I asked myself a lot of questions, and I knew what I wanted, but I didn't think I'd ever have a chance to live out those things. And this past week told me that I can. So I really want to work towards that. And there are many different subparts within doing that. One of the subparts is, before I made this channel, there were these types of videos I wanted to make. Now the genre is the same. I've always wanted to make videos, and I've made this clear, on writing, chronic illness, photography, / basically the art of creating, growing, and healing, all throughout a vlog. And, I've been trying with that, but I wanted to make them like mini artistic masterpieces. And I know I don't need to, and I know I'm by no means talented enough to do those yet, or at least to the level that I would like. But I want to start trying. As you sit and watch this was actually supposed to be a different video, and there's supposed to be a different video coming next. But when I was walking through that trail yesterday, and I was cleansing myself of everything that built up, not only during lockdown, but within these past 3 years, and even a bit before that, because I was a flight attendant, and when you're a flight attendant, you are definitely not yourself. I just realized I wasn't proud of what I had made. I was making things to make them because I had a due date. And I told myself I was never going to do that. I haven't published any of them yet. I've normally been able to talk myself out of those things after a while. And I know the few people that watch my videos and comment on them tell me that I worry too much or I put too much pressure on myself. Well, the truth is that they make me happy, and that's why I do them. I love creating these videos, and that pressure and that worry doesn't bother me. In fact, it really helps me. I don't know. Creative pressure inspires me, if it's the right kind, because that's something else I've learned. I can't just create for other people. I mean, we all do it to make ends meet, but when it comes to my personal stuff, I can't just create to create, which is why it will take me forever to write my stories, because I just want to put so much effort and pressure on myself to create something that I deem perfect or worthy. But I also know the fine line between, I'm being a little bit obsessive. I do have obsessive tendencies, but they're only in certain things, which is mainly my art. They're very personal. They don't bleed out into my relationships, which is good. Oh, and then my third subcategory is my story. I need to focus more on that. So my goal for the rest of the year is just to read and surround myself with things that will help my story. I would like to write with more people. I do recognize that I work better on my own, but I hate editing. I absolutely hate revisions with a passion. So I think I need to do that with other people. So I'm gonna probably join in more live streams. I don't know. I had a system and I'm gonna go back to it. But I'm saying an older system, one that was before YouTube, when I was healthy and my mind was healthy along with my soul. This is a very odd goals video and I completely recognize that. But thank you for watching. So tell me, are you still doing any goals? I mean, I feel like it's pointless in this environment, but I feel like internal goals are a little bit different. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Are you doing internal, external, or none at all? Let me know how camp is going for you, and I hope you're in good health. Gosh, this sounds like a Regency period letter. So, in that case, sincerely, Hudson. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.